Ah, yes, we're back. And as you can see, James has got far more handsome and younger. There we go.
Oh, yes.
So I'm Paul from the Studio Rats, and today I'm joined by the one and only Mr. Lee Abraham.
Good evening. How is everyone?
You all right, mate? Everything good?
Yeah, pretty good, thanks.
So James isn't with us tonight. So Lee has stepped in the James to fill James's little shoes, size 7s, I think, is James.
Right.
Got
Okay.
very little feet. And so we're here for the usual Studio Rats shenanigans on a Wednesday. And yeah, so Lee, what have you been up to this week?
Did some gigs
and
at the
stuff.
weekends, always gigging, and I've got some rehearsals coming up actually now. So I'm playing at there's a prog festival happening on the 7th of July in
Prog
Abingdon.
festival?
Yeah, it's happening in Abingdon. It's called the Prog for Pert Festival. So the same brain cancer disease that Neil Peart from Rush died of. They hold like a charity. They raise money for the same charity that helps people with the same illness. Brilliant. So it's called the Prog for Pert Festival. It's happening in Abingdon near Oxford on the 7th of July.
Love it.
And I'm actually playing with 2 bands on the same night, so I'm going to be doing a Phil Collins.
Awesome stuff, but not flying anywhere.
We're not flying anywhere in between, no. So I'm playing a set with my own band late afternoon, and then I'm actually playing guitar with the headliners as well. So, which is a band called
awesome. Who's the headliners?
Band called Cosmograph, UK prog band.
And sorry, so James, I'm sure James knows all about that band because he's into that. But are they quite a big band?
Well, reasonably. We've been making some waves over the last sort of 10 years or so. I mean, the band is one of those bands where it's kind of one guy who does all the songwriting and all the recording and production and everything. But when he goes out and plays live, obviously he needs a bit of help. So and he's an old mate of mine. We've been mates for like 20 years. So I go out and play guitar for him. So yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, so I've got 2 lots of rehearsals coming out. Obviously the rehearsal with my band for my set, and then the rehearsal with Cosmograph. And yeah, lots to do before the gig.
And what are the venues? What sort of?
It's a sports ground. I don't think it's as grand as we're playing in the arena. I think we're just playing in the clubhouse at the sports ground. But yeah, it's North Cope Sports Ground or something in Abingdon.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, I love Abingdon. Are you staying up there? You going to drive back?
No, I should be up there in the afternoon and then come back early hours.
Okay. Yeah. Nice, very nice. And you've also informed me you bought a new guitar.
I have. Yeah.
So I don't know what it is yet. Should we have a look? At this first? Come on, let's get this out of the way. Is that a Jet?
It is.
Is it?
It's another Jet.
Is that? Oh, you've already got a Jet. Oh no, of course we reviewed it, didn't we? That's the same things we reviewed.
Yeah. Well, it's the same mate.
That's great, isn't it? Is it the same model?
No, this is the JS 450, I think they call this one. So it's very Sir-like, isn't it?
That's great, isn't it? Isn't
that
nice?
Are
you bringing that over to?
Yeah, I can bring
so Lee's coming over. But we keep talking exactly the same time. Sorry, Matt. I'll let you go first. You go first.
Yeah, I can bring it over tomorrow. Yeah, absolutely. I got this. I wasn't particularly looking for a new guitar, but this one popped up on Facebook Marketplace, and it was pretty local to me. It was only down the road. It was even more local to you. It was sort of Ferndown way, the other side of the New Forest.
Yeah.
And I thought, and the guy advertised it for 120 quid. And I thought, well, these, if you buy these new, these are 300, this particular model. So I thought, well, that's a bit of a steal, actually. But he photographed it, obviously, as is, like this. And the first question I asked him was, have you still got the trem arm? And he said, do you know what? I think I've lost the trem arm. So I said, okay, then I'll give you 100 quid for it then. And he said, "Yeah, all right then."
You're joking. That's fallen off the back of a lorry.
So I got it for 100 quid. But when I got down there, I got to the guy's flat and picked it up off him. Him and his girlfriend were really, really heavy dopers, you know, proper. And the place was just thick of it, you know. So he handed me the guitar to try it out, and the neck, my hand just instantly stuck to the neck. You know, it's like,
oh man, really?
I thought, oh my god. So first thing I did when I got it home was just rip the strings off and just got a really, really tepid sort of damp microfiber cloth and just washed more or less every piece of wood, every inch of wood on it has had a bit of a wash.
So it's literally just had like ganja oil all over it, did it?
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Wow.
It was pretty mucky and disgusting. And it gave the frets a good scrubbing as well. And but I've actually locked it off. So I put a couple of extra springs in the back. So I've got 5 springs in the back now.
Okay.
And
for what reason?
Just locked it. Well, just because I can't be asked to just get a new trem arm for it at the moment. So because I've got some spares here, but none of them fit. And
so do you think that's a keeper? Do you think it's a keeper?
Yeah, it's really nice actually. Because I mean, all of my other guitars, apart from the Tele that I've got, they're all trem. You know, none of them are hardtail like this. So I've been quite enjoying. I took it out and played a gig with this on Friday night, and it was quite nice actually to just not have to. Every time you do like a trem bomb or something, you know, you don't have to worry about checking the tuning. So I just thought, well, it's going to be because I haven't done anything. So yeah, it was really good.
I mean, that just looks. Let me see the neck again. Is it stainless steel frets again?
No, it's only regular nickel.
Okay, that's just great, isn't it? The only thing about it, I love it, is look at that, 100 quid. You could strip it and sell it for more than that. The only thing that I don't like about these jet guitars is the logo. Everything else I think is absolutely fantastic. Look at that. Nice.
Yeah, it's not great.
I look forward to trying that out tomorrow.
Yeah, there we go.
That looks absolutely stunning. And
the paint jobs are out there to be had.
Yeah, the paint job on that is fantastic as well. It looks really good. So I made a purchase.
Yeah.
So I normally buy my sort of 25. I haven't opened it yet. It just arrived just before we came on. I normally buy like my strings in 25 sets, and I normally buy just the standard D'Addario sort of 10 to 46. And I decided to buy the NYXL ones, like the 25 pack, because I've always got string. The reason I buy a 25 set is because I always need strings, and as opposed to just constantly sort of buying strings and like individual packs, I thought, you know, that a few years ago I decided to buy the 25 sets just because it's, you know, it lasts you a good year and stuff. So normally a 25 set costs me about 120 quid, something like that. 270 quid for NYXLs.
But they're the coated ones, aren't they?
They're the coat. Well, I think they're coated. Yeah, they definitely last longer. So I'm hoping that these are going to last me for 3 years. Is what I'm hoping. But so
how do you get on when you buy the set like that aren't coated? How do they get on being stored for that long?
That's a really good question. About towards the end of the pack, you start to see a little bit of tarnishing, right. But it's not like you notice anything. You just see that they're not as shiny as they were,
right?
And I'm guessing that's because you know they're not sealed like a normal pack.
No, that's right.
Even though you've got this, yeah, look, I'll show you. They come in these. They come with this little rubber bung. Let me turn my lights up a bit. Hold on. There. Come with this little rubber bung. So you open that up, and all your strings are.
Look at that.
And they're great. You know, like it's quite a clever design because you pull them out, and they all come out like, quite easily. And they're all obviously color coded for what string it is. But yeah, I'm hoping that. Because that was an investment. That was.
So, have you ever bought a box where hasn't been quite enough B strings, or?
No. There's always 25 sets. There's always 25 sets. But yeah, the thing that happens if you have, I mean, to be honest, all my guitars, I don't break strings. I never break strings. But if you break strings, that's the only problem, because you then, you'll get to the end of the pack and you go, I'll just change all my strings. Then you find, I haven't got any E strings. I haven't got any. But luckily, I don't really break strings. Thank God.
What about if you go to a gig? I take it you've just got a spare packet in the bag of regulars.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't even. No, thank God, no. But I literally never break strings. So but I always do have a set. If I didn't take a set, you can guarantee that's the gig that I'm going to break strings.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely,
yeah, guaranteed. Should we let's do a couple of questions? Can you see the questions on your?
I don't think I can. Side? No.
Right.
No.
Why can you not see the question? Okay, well, don't worry. We'll just go through. I'll do them. You can see the questions now, yeah?
Yeah, okay, I can see them along the bottom. Yeah.
James knows how to do all this. I don't know what I'm doing. Bogeyman says Phil X. What about Phil X? What's happened to Phil X?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I heard a rumor ages ago that Richie Sambora was coming back to Bon Jovi. So I don't know.
That'll be. I reckon. Yeah. Bogeyman, let us know what's going on with Phil X. Ventures in Gearlang. So Greg says nobody likes drummers anyway. This is true. They just make the rest of the band sound better. What have the Romans ever done for us? Have a good show. Okay. Cheers, Greg. Thanks, mate. Daniel, he's in the house. He says, another beautiful day here in North Carolina after the unbelievable storm we had on Monday night. Yeah, you guys are getting it at the moment, aren't you? Right. Good to have you with us. Funky Bass. After the Chapman guitar review video, I've been having nightmares about Jivey as a cheerleader. Yeah, no one commented on that. It took me ages to do that.
Yeah, I'm sure it did. That looked quite disturbing, though, didn't it?
It was really disturbing, isn't it? I did fancy him in one of the pictures, though. Evening, Paul Lee and studio. Hi, Funky Bass. Hope you're well. Jeff Cook said, good morning from a windy Brisbane. Actual windy weather, nothing to do with my digestive tract. Good to know.
Thank you.
Good to know. And Balloon Man Media says hi. Hi, Balloon Man Media. Mr. Moxie's in the house. He says evening, everyone. Pet sent me some videos. He always sends me little videos of him singing. He has got he's got a good set of pipes on him.
Oh, good stuff.
Nectarius, he says, hello guys, think of swapping a Fender bass breaker for a Cornell Romany Plus 12. Should I?
I had a bass breaker when they first came out.
Which one?
I had the 15 head.
The 15 head. So the 15 head had an effects loop in it.
I think it did, yeah.
The 30 didn't. It's just like, it was bizarre. All the things they did with the certain amps. Yeah, the 15 was the one to get.
Yeah, it was pretty good actually. I never used it live. I only used it in the studio, but yeah, it was good.
So if I was Nectarius, I wouldn't even think twice about that. But it's a different amp. It's a really different amp. The bass breaker, it's quite AC30, isn't it?
Well, kind of. Didn't they say that it was sort of when Fender and Marshall originally came on the scene, Fender went off down the clean road and Marshall went off down the dirty road. But if they said that Fender had gone down the dirty road, that's what they would have produced, the bass breaker.
Oh, that's interesting.
That would have been their kind of version of a Marshall.
Oh, because I was told it was like an AC. So the Cornell Romany, I think that's quite Fender, isn't it? Let me have a quick look. Is it Cornell?
Sounds like a single channel amp. Is it a single channel?
12, is it the 12 Plus? Have a quick look. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to share the screen. You're still there? Here we go. Share screen. We'll have a look at it. There we go. Right, can you see it?
Yeah.
See, that is a lovely looking amp.
Yeah.
What's it got? So it's 10 watts, 12 inch, delivering professional tones loud enough for not just a studio home, but also suitable for playing small venues. So you're not going to get, it's 10 watts. You're not going to get pristine, clean tones out of it if you're doing gigs. I mean, that to me is like,
yeah, it's a single channel as well.
Is it?
So
Yeah, single-ended class.
Yeah, you're gonna have to have a decent pedal board. You're gonna have to have a decent pedal board, I would say, to get a good palette of sounds with that. Not that your bass tone is going to sound great, but just having some pedals just to give you a bit more. You can almost use a boost to use almost like a boost in reverse to clean it up a bit, and then a boost in overdrive to get it to dirty up a bit.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't think you're going to get. You're talking about a completely different class of amp, as in you're talking about like a mass-produced Fender amp or a proper boutique, fantastic sounding amplifier. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that's what you should definitely go for that. Right, let me give me 2 seconds. Let me come back. Hold on. Where are we? Mississippi Blue says, evening rats and all. So Lee's, what's this week's budget gear? I think Lee showed it. Look at that. That is 100 quid.
You wish you'd
you want to get rid of that? Yeah. If you want to get rid of that, you give me a shout. Look at that. That's great. Ben says, thoughts on the new PRS guitars. I like the deep dish pickups on the NF53, but not the body shape. I like the Miles Kennedy, but the pickups aren't as Telly-like. I want the MK with the DD pickups. What do you think, Lee?
Yeah, I thought exactly the same as you, because you mentioned this last week, didn't you? And I thought
we talked about
exactly the same as you. I thought the Telly looked great, but the pickups looked a bit odd because they've used those mini humbucker things, haven't they, on it?
Yeah, they use the narrow fields, I think they're called.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, what I want is the PRS Telecaster, a Telecaster, not Telecaster shape. I want a PRS Telecaster. So PRS build quality and PRS sort of attention to detail and all that sort of stuff, but with proper Telly pickups.
What about a Sir Telly?
Oh, great! Yeah, all day long. All day long. I had an Alt T, but that was 2 humbuckers. That was 2 thornbuckers in that.
Yeah.
It sounded great. I'm an idiot. Sometimes I get rid of guitars because it was a bit. I was thinking about getting the Pete Thorn, and I was like, oh, I can't really justify having these 2 guitars, so I'll just get the Pete Thorn. And the Pete. I mean, I'd never sell that Pete Thorn. It's fantastic. But yeah, the Sir Tellys are absolutely brilliant. I think that's what I would do over that. I would rather the only thing about the Sir Tellys that I don't like and the Sir Strats that I don't like, the actual Strat, the whatever they call it, I forgot what they call it.
Classic S.
Classic S and Classic T. You're right. I don't think the headstock works as well on them than it does on, say, like the more sort of hot rodded shape.
Yeah.
Which I think that really works on that.
Yeah,
but if you've got a Strat shape and with all the like soft round bits on a Telly and a Strat, and then you put a sort of pointy headstock on it, to me it's just a little, it doesn't work as well. But the pit and the pit, I don't think the headstock works as well on the PRS Tellys. I think it looks. Okay. I think it looked really good on the Silver Sky.
Yeah.
I mean, loads of people hate it, but I thought it looked really good.
Well, all PRSs are 3 and 3, aren't they?
Yes, they're all 3 and 3. I don't think they ever did I don't think they've ever done no. Nags, when Nags left PRS, he went over to 6 in a line.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see if I can get an image of one. All the images I've got, they just cut off about halfway up the neck, so you can't see the headstock.
Do you mean to do it? Do you want me to do it?
No, I've got it. I can't share
Got it. Okay, great. You can share it. You can.
No,
Oh no, you can't. No, you're not on there, are you?
No, I'm looking at my computer. Sorry, but yeah, I think the 3 and 3 PRS headstock looks pretty good actually on a telly shape. It looks all right. It doesn't look out of place.
And that's good, because that's what makes the world go around. The difference of opinion. Awesome. Okay. So what would I do? Yeah, Ben, I would have a look at, as Lee said, if you want a really great sounding telly that's not a telly, I'd definitely have a look at the Sir tellies. They're absolutely brilliant. Yes, and I completely agree. I don't think the humbuckers a telly, and that's with the PRS using the narrow fields. I don't think it works. Even visually, I don't think it really works. But you're still there, Lee. If you're frozen. Lee's frozen. Okay, I'm gonna move ahead. Steve says, "Evening, gents. Like the Chapman guitar demo. Always interested to see a straight up review of the cheaper end of the market. Hopefully, more to come." Here we go. I think Lee's back.
We're both
back.
We're both back.
Good. Yeah. So, funny enough, I think the cheaper end guitar videos tend to do better than the high end guitar videos.
Yeah, this is probably to do with the fact that cheaper end guitars are obviously more attainable to everybody.
Yeah, I guess so. And people like, I think people do like the cheaper end videos. So we'll do a video of Lee's Jet tomorrow, and the great thing about that is it hasn't been modded at all.
Nope.
So it's stock, as opposed to Lee's other Jet, which we did a review of, which had a thornbuckle, didn't it? Had a thornbuckle in the bridge.
It did, yeah. It had a Goto trem on it as well.
So, out of the two guitars, is it night and day, or is it just like?
No, I wouldn't say so. They both feel the same under the fingers, really. I mean, I guess that's because they've got more or less identical necks, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, the sound of the pickup, the humbucker in this bridge and this cheap one that I've bought is a bit. It's a bit. What's the word? Monophonic, microphonic. It screamed a bit at the gig.
Microphonic.
Yeah, it screamed a bit at the gig. So, but I mean, I could have easily just turned down the input impedance on my unit, but I just couldn't be asked. I just carried on playing. So you could obviously put a new pickup in it and make it sound, because that Thornbucker in the white one just sounds amazing. That sounds incredible. That guitar, that's more or less my go-to guitar. That white one.
They are great. Those Thornbuckers are definitely the pickups.
Yeah.
If you're looking for that sort of path sort of sound, they're great, aren't they?
Yeah.
Right. Let's move on. David, evening, David.
Hi, David.
2-hour Lolly Luke special. Lee's Lolly Luke special.
Oh dear! I don't think we can stretch to that at the moment.
Now, well, Lee's coming over tomorrow, so we're going to review a couple of things. Lee's bringing over.
I've got 3 things for you to look at now.
So you've got the multi effects thing.
Yeah. So we got the Ampera Mini.
Fantastic.
And we got the BB clone.
Nice. I need to dig out my BB then so we can compare them.
And now I'll bring over the Jet as well.
Fantastic. Look at that. Guitar Bass Dude. Hi from Stockholm, Sweden. Hi, Guitar Bass Dude. Hope you're well. Al's in the house. He said, "Evening, guys. How you doing? Good, mate. Currently enjoying the delights of the Birmingham Airport travel splodge. Thank God it's Wednesday night. I think I need to look at getting one of them Jet guitars, Lee. Yeah, definitely. Great, aren't they?
I've got 3 now. And they're really good. Yeah, they're great.
What, 3? So what's the other one you've got?
Hold on.
Oh, someone's. God, it is like a Sir, isn't it? It's like the Sir.
So that's a go-to trem that I've put in it though. So yeah, that's a stock pickup. That's the same pickup that would have been in the white one.
Right.
So it's just their sort of standard ceramic humbucker. It's quite it's really high output actually.
Is it? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's really, really. You have to be a bit careful with it. But I've done the same. I've put my own locking tuners on it. And,
Great.
And the decal on the headstock is a bit different. It's got this kind of shiny effect to it.
That just looks wrong.
I don't know if it makes it look any better.
But... everything else about it is absolutely banging.
Yeah.
And
this plays more or less exactly, in terms of feel, this plays exactly like a white one. Does
it? That's great.
Yeah, they're both the same.
Fantastic. Hold on, we've got to say Cole Justinson. Thank you, Cole. That's very kind of you, mate. He said, I love the channel. Your recent video of the Buddha Super Drive was excellent. I owned several Buddha amps and their cabs. I was curious what speaker you used with the Super Drive B20. Oh, cheers, Cole. Well, thanks very much for your generous donation. What did we use? I've got a feeling, Cole, we plugged into. So it was either James's 4x12 Marshall cab, or we plugged into his aux box. I've got a feeling we plugged into the aux box.
And that's quite an interesting observation then. If you can't tell whether it was the real cab or the IR. That's
no, they're great. The aux box and the 2 notes capture is just 2 notes torpedo studio. Sorry, just absolutely fantastic. Yeah. But thanks, Cole. Thank you very much. Where did we get to?
Before we move off the the jet guitar thing, there's something I was going to show you actually.
Go for it.
Because obviously these jet guitars just sort of almost cost pocket change really. But I went out and bought this Court. I noticed something about this Court. I've had this Court for about 10 months or so, and I noticed something about it I'd not noticed before, and I think it's a slight manufacturer flaw. I don't know whether it's going to come out on camera.
God, look at that. That's great, isn't it?
Can you see how far over that top E string is?
Yeah. I think
that should be more like that rather than where it is.
I think you're dead right. I also think, what's the trem on it? Can you show me the trem? Okay. Come down. Can you show me the bridge pickup? So the bridge pickup's right, yeah?
Yeah, just about. Only just.
So Seymour Duncan do two different widths of pickups. I think it's 2. They might do 3. If you've got a trem guitar, or if you've got a wider, they should have used their T-spec pickups. I don't think they've used the correct pickups on the neck pickup. I tell you what, don't bring over the jet tomorrow. Can you bring that over?
Well, I could bring them both. Yeah.
Yeah. Bring both. Bring both. I think that one's worth a video because we've done the jet video.
Yeah.
And how much are cork guitars?
Well, this one was. I got this one as a bit of a steal because I think the Cork factory just sold them all to Guitar, and Guitar were basically letting these go at half price. I think they were originally 800 quid, but I got this for 400. So
great. That's great.
But I mean, it is a really nice guitar. Only apart from that one, and it's not anything that I've noticed really when I'm playing it. It's only when I put these strings on it the other week, and I thought, hang on a minute. That top E string is well over. It shouldn't be over by that much.
Show us the bridge again. Show us the bridge pickup. Lift it up a bit. They're different size pickups. They've got that. They are. I can see they're different size pickups. They've got They've got their trem size pickup in the bridge, and they've messed up on the neck.
Right. Oh, that's interesting.
Shocking. Yeah, that is shocking.
So what are they? 2 bridge pickups?
No. So as opposed to having Seymour Duncan brought out something called a trembucker back in the 90s, and it was basically a tremolo spaced humbucker.
Right.
And that size should have been in the neck, but they put the smaller humbucker in the neck for some bizarre reason, and the larger humbucker in the bridge. They're different sizes. You can see them. One's bigger than the other.
Right.
Have a look at the spacing of the where it's routed out.
Yeah. I can see it now. Yeah, you're right. Right.
Shocking.
I wonder if that's worth an email to Cortland.
Yeah, I mean, are they still going?
Yeah,
cool. Of course so. Yeah, of course so. Yeah, definitely. I think that's definitely worth an email. But you can always change. You can change that pickup to the trem space pickup. Right. Where do we get to? Again, Cole, thank you very much, mate. That's really that is really generous of you. Where we go? Where are we? We've done that one. Haven't we? We've done that one. Funky Bass says 100 quid for that guitar is nuts. Well done. Yeah, that is an absolute bargain.
Thank you.
100. What can you buy for 100 quid?
Well, it's kind of like a messy night out with a curry on the way home, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I know what the guy you bought it off is going to be spending 100 quid on.
Yeah, exactly. He did say to me as well when I messaged him. He said, he gave me his address and everything, and we arranged a time. And he said, oh, by the way, I only accept cash, no bank transfers or anything weird. Anything
Jeez,
weird?
That is weird. That is weird.
I messaged back to him and said, oh, what? So you won't be accepting magic beans then?
Do you don't think there's anything dodgy going on, do you?
No, he was just a guy in a sort of a basement flat who lived with his girlfriend. He had a Les Paul in there. He had a Marshall Origin amp, and a couple of pedals on the floor. And he just said that he was a Les Paul guy, and he just didn't want it.
Wow, interesting. Nabil Charbel says, "Hello, Mr. Drew. Flying solo tonight." Well, no, we got Mr. Abraham in. Did you like the Wilkinson trem after all? Yeah, the Wilkinson trems, they're brilliant, really, really good. I need to chase up Wilkinson actually. Yeah.
That's what's in this jet.
What's that?
That's what's in this jet. Look, that's a Wilkinson.
Does it come with the Wilkinson?
Yeah, it's in there. Can you see it?
Oh yeah, look at that. Honestly, the quality of the components they're putting in there are fantastic. Yeah. Wilkinson trems are really, really good. So I put it in my Strat, and the tuning stability was massively improved. So yeah, really.
Is that one of the new ones that locked out the saddles?
No, so I've got the saddles. So what we're going to do is with this guitar. This is the it's a Maybach. It's a German.
Oh, that weighs a ton.
Guitar. It's quite heavy. So, well, this is. I mean, I wanted to ask opinions on this. So, what I want to do with this. Actually, I'm going to show something, but I'm not going to open them. What I'm going to do with this is I'm going to put the locking saddles on this, the Wilkinson saddles.
Yeah.
And they're the same saddles that are on the Sir, on my Sir Pete Thorne. Hold on. Let's get rid of that. And I've been sent some pickups by Sun Bear Pickups. I've got to show you this because this is. I'm not going to open them because I want to do the opening on the video. But like, just the attention to detail.
Nice box, yeah.
Isn't it great? Nice. And he's yeah. So I don't want to open them up, but this is his 59. Let's have a look. So this is his 5969 Strat set. It's got the bridge is an Alnico 5 6.5K. Middle is Alnico 5 5.9K, and the neck is Alnico 5 5.8K. Yeah, and he's wound them especially for this project.
Nice.
Which is which is really great. And so I'm going to be changing those pickups on that guitar because the pickups on that guitar are absolute junk. They're absolute junk. So I'm betting these, and I know what's going to happen. I'm going to love these so much. I'll probably end up taking them out of my custom shop Strat and putting these in the custom shop Strat instead.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm going to do with that guitar yet. I don't know, and I don't know what the whole plan is. But the other dilemma is with the neck, because it's a 50. It's basically a 54 or 57 spec guitar. It's got a 7.25 radius neck, which on this guitar just doesn't work.
Right.
So it chokes out, and it just feels like really
like that, is it?
Yeah, it's really rounded, and it's fine for cowboy chords and all that. But when you want to sort of play lead stuff, it just it doesn't work for me. But on the Silver Sky that I had, the Pura Silver Sky, that had a 7.25, and I really liked it. But with this, because it's a high gloss neck, it's just everything about it is like, it just feels not great to play. It's just it's sticky. You can't bend it properly because it chokes out, and it just, so I don't know what to do. So like loads of people have been given opinions. So I either strip the neck, take the frets out, get it reprofiled, get all the lacquer taken off of it, refret it, back on, or I buy a new neck. And that's the thing, because if I get this refretted and reprofiled, it's going to be 400 quid.
That's loads of money. Yeah.
I could go and buy a Fender neck for that sort of money, or for less, and then put a Fender neck on here. So that's the dilemma. Or I just scallop it and go completely Yngwie.
Yeah, you could do.
That is it. You know, that is an option. And I just think, I think with this guitar, because my Strat is so good, that's never going to be as good as my Strat.
Right.
It's never going to feel as good as my Strat.
You talk about the blue Strat?
Yeah, my blue Strat. Yeah, this one. It's just a completely different guitar, like weight-wise and everything. It's just, it's such a great guitar. And it's resonant. It's a great guitar.
Lovely.
And so I don't know what to do. I don't know whether just to go, look.
Is that a custom shop or a Masterbuilt? That one?
No, it's a custom shop.
That's a custom shop. So how does that compare against the green and the red ones that you had? Because they were Masterbuilt, aren't they?
Yeah. So I've got two Masterbuilts. I've got a green Telly, which I'm thinking of selling, because I think what I want to do at the moment is like one in, one out. I'm not interested in having any more guitars than what I've got.
Yeah.
Off.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah.
Could you try again?
Watch is kicking up. So I'm thinking about, that's a guitar that, because it's good for the channel. You know, you get like different guitars in, and it's good for the channel.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking of swapping that out, even though it's a great guitar. I'm thinking that's the guitar that I'd probably use the least. And it's a Masterbuilt. It's a fantastic guitar. So that's a guitar that I'm thinking of sort of swapping out with some other things. In terms of quality between this and my Masterbuilt Strat, my Paisley one, they're different guitars, because the Paisley one's got P90s on it.
Yeah.
And the Masterbuilt is 5% better.
Really?
Yeah, but it's the difference, isn't it? It's like,
they're not 5% more in money, though, are they? They're a bit more in money.
Oh no, they're crazy. I mean, especially now, like a Masterbuilt guitars start about $7,000, I think they start from.
Because that red one that you had, the Strats that you had about a year ago, the green one and the red one, they were really, really nice.
I've never had a green Masterbuilt Strat.
Oh, what was the green one then? That you kind of, didn't you nickname it Hulk?
No, that wasn't. That was a custom shop. Yeah, that was a custom shop.
So the red one,
the red one was a Masterbuilt, and the best sounding Strat that I've ever heard. It was just absolutely amazing. I just didn't like the neck on it. The neck, the neck just I couldn't get. I just couldn't get used to it. Even though, it was great, but for me it wasn't. For that sort of money, I wanted something that was.
Yeah.
That I didn't want to. I didn't want to fight it every time I picked it up. But the best sounding guitar, the best sounding Strat I've ever heard, that was absolutely brilliant.
And when they're that kind of money, they can't be left on the shelf, can they? You have to move them.
No, absolutely. So where do we go? David Olson says, "Hi chaps, been a while." Well, you're more than welcome, mate. Yeah, good to see you. Ned, he says, "Hello, Mr. Drew, Mr. A, and Mr. Abram." Did I spell that right?
Almost.
Yeah, that'll do. I started a band in September, and on Tuesday we have our 7th drummer. Guys, like Spinal Tap.
Spinal Tap, yeah.
But not all drummers were wankers.
I think the thing about drum that I used to find with drummers back in the 90s when I first started playing live, the amount of drummers that you'd come across that would either have no driving license, so they couldn't drive a car, so they couldn't get themselves around, or, believe it or not, I remember we auditioned a really ace drummer once. He was absolutely incredible. And he learned all our songs that we were doing. We were doing Africa by Toto, and we were doing Turn It On Again by Genesis, and he learned all, and they were absolutely perfect. And then at the audition, we were just about to offer him the job, and he said to us, "Oh, by the way, at the moment, I work nights in a factory." Brilliant. So you can't do any gigs then?
There aren't many daytime gigs.
No, exactly. Numpty.
Oh, bless him. That's such a shame. Yeah, drummers. I mean, I always find that more about bass players always end up to be donuts for me. But
yeah, I've played with a few dopey bass players in my time, even to the point where they were quite clearly playing the wrong thing, or either they were playing the wrong thing, or their bass had gone really badly out of tune. And I pulled them up on it, and I said, "You're either playing that wrong, or your bass is out of tune." And they just looked and said, "Yeah, probably."
What more do you need? Well, yeah. Good luck with this drummer, mate. Good luck with the with number 7. Jesus, 7. Lee, good evening. Good evening, Lee.
Good evening, Lee.
David Ashcroft. Any news on the second Tone X pack? So,
yeah. Come on.
Yeah, sorry guys. So they're ready. We can't release them yet. That's all I can say. That's the only thing that I can say. That we can't release them as yet.
They're still simmering.
Yeah, there's something in the works that means we can't release them yet. But I think we're talking. Is it the end? It's the middle to the end of July. That's the date.
Okay.
So
that's not too long to wait then.
No. Whiskey Romeo says, any value in market for the old Yamaha 50 210s from the late 70s, early 80s? Were they the solid state ones? Let me have a look.
I thought you meant Yamaha wrong, and he meant Yamaha NS10s. No, I mean
maybe Yamaha. Is it 50?
52.
What was it? Sorry, mate, I can't see it. 5210. Let's have a quick look.
210s.
Yeah, this is what I thought it was. Let's have a look. Here we go. I'll share the screen. Entire screen. That one there. Done. Right. There we go.
Oh, crikey! Wow, look at that.
That's a rough looking amp, isn't it?
From my own personal opinion, I would say no. Not a lot of value in that. I mean, you might find a collector who's after it, but
I think these.
I can't think many gigging guitarists on the scene today would be looking for one of them. Could be wrong.
I would stick away from. The thing is, though, no, that's the bass version. God,
that's the shed, isn't it?
They definitely weren't looking. They definitely weren't looking. I would say no as well, but you never know. I mean, there's the things that. That's a G100.
That's got wheels on it, so that instantly says to me it's bloody heavy.
Let's have a look. It's not. Is that Valve? This one? They did do a Valve amp. I'm sure they did. Here we go. No,
doesn't look like it. No, that's solid state.
No. Oh, no.
There's a big transformer.
Yeah. What was your first amp, Lee? Or your first sort of proper amp?
My first proper guitar amp was I can't even remember. It was a Carlsbro, and it was it was the sort of bluey grey Tolex. I can't even remember it was a 1x12, and it was about 50 watts. I guess it probably was. It was solid state though.
Yeah. So I had one of my first amps was a PV Bandit, I think. You know, like a really early PV Bandit, and I mean, I don't get it. You know, like when the who's the band? Josh Homme band, Josh Holmes band.
Queens of the Stone Age.
Queens of the Stone Age, yeah. So you know, like about 6 months ago, they released the information that it was this little PV amp, and that's that was the secret to his sound. Personally, I'm not a massive fan of his guitar sound, but anyway. And then the price of these old PV amps just went through the roof, and it's just like, it's still a crap amp.
Yeah.
Just because he used it, and you know, they might have blended in a bit into his sound. I don't know. I mean, I think personally, I think those old sort of 70s, 80s amps, solid state amps, they were never great in my opinion.
No, again, it's about if you find a collector that wants to take it off your hands, but I wouldn't have thought no.
Yeah, but also probably not worth hanging on to. Right. Funky Bass says, my cousin had a Cornell Romany Plus 12, incredible hand wired amp. He did club gigs with it. He had a Jensen P12N speaker in there. Yeah, nice. I mean, let me get this Cornell amp that I've got here. It's not plugged in. I mean, the build quality of these amps are just really, really good. Like at least as good as Matchless and all that sort of stuff. It's really, really, really nicely built. And you open them up and they're absolutely stunning inside.
It's nice.
So yeah, I'd grab I'd grab any Cornell you can get your hands on. Lee says, got myself a Boss 100 Mark II. I'm guessing he means Katana. Are the effects good enough for home use, or should I get pedals for it? No, definitely.
Good enough, yeah.
Yeah, they're really good. You'll have a lovely time with that. They're if you really want to get into it, just get the Boss Tone Studio for it, which is the software you put in your computer, and just connect your computer up by the USB cable, and jobs are good.
You can't go wrong with Boss. I mean, Boss invented effects, really, didn't they? I mean, you can't go wrong with their drives and their delays and stuff like that. Brilliant.
Definitely. Jeff says, I'm happy with my UAFX Delverb. I haven't experimented much with it yet, but it's really brought the Blues Breaker amp to life. Yeah, nice one. Are you running it in the effects loop? Yeah, it's a really great pedal, and to me it sounds. The thing that really brings it to life is the stereo out of it. I think the actual stereo image of it is just bonkers nice. Good.
It's a nice colour as well, isn't it?
Jeff says, yeah, I really like it. Yeah, some people commented. They said they hated the colour, but I think it looks really cool.
It's nice.
Yeah. Jeff says, I've also gotten the reissued Governor pedal. It's a treasure. Oh, nice one. Yeah, they're really good pedals. Pet says, thoughts on Glastonbury this year, gents? Quite a few technical hiccups and mixed reviews. Give me 2 seconds. Let me just close this door because I'm shouting a bit.
So I didn't see much of Glastonbury this year. I kind of purposely steer clear of watching it on TV because I always think that the BBC coverage is a little bit biased. They only show you sort of stuff that they want to show you rather than a bit of an eclectic mix. I did see a few clips. I saw some of Elton John's set, which looked really, really good. His band looked great as well. Elton John's band. All these old guys who come on, like Paul McCartney last year, his band were great as well.
Yeah, good band.
And I heard lots of talk about Guns N' Roses being awful, but then I heard some people say, No, it was only the BBC mix that was on TV that was awful. They actually sounded good at the event, but I don't know how true that is.
I think, yeah, I think it's no. It sounded all right on BBC. I think. I mean, it's. I just think they were just a bit rough, to be honest.
Well, they were never that good in the first place, really, were they?
I think as a band, I thought they were fantastic. Like Appetite for Destruction, like Slash's guitar playing on that was like amazing.
Yeah,
and then
but they got bigger than their music. Kind of, they got bigger than their music as an entity, didn't they? And they didn't produce enough music. I thought, they've kept fans hanging for years for new material. That whole Chinese Democracy album debacle was just awful. It's nearly done, it's nearly done, it's nearly done, it's nearly done, and it never materialised for years. I don't think you should treat fans like that, but anyway.
Well, I don't think you should treat the record company like that. It cost them millions, didn't it? They hired out a studio for like 2 years or whatever it was. And they didn't turn up. So and then I saw Foo Fighters, and I thought, Foo Fighters are great, they're always great. I didn't think the sound was that good. And then I listened to, because I came back from James and I were working over the weekend together, and I was driving back when Elton John was playing, and I thought he sounded good on the radio, and then I watched a bit of it on the television. Do you remember in lockdown, Elton John did a thing in his back garden, and then loads of people did like little
translations of what he was actually singing. Yeah.
So, and it was really funny. It was a bit like that. But bless him, he's in his 70s, and he's 76. Amazing. He pulled it off, and he's absolutely brilliant.
He's just had a hip operation as well, isn't he? Which is why he was kind of limping and stuff.
Oh, is that why he was limping? Yeah. I thought he wasn't. Yeah, he wasn't moving that well. And then I watched The War on Drugs, and it was unbelievable. It was like amazing.
Yeah.
Just like, I don't know what happened, and I don't know if it's like the band, like how good the band are with The War on Drugs, or how good the engineer was. Completely different sound, completely different performance. It was unbelievable. So well worth. I think that's well worth watching, because it was absolutely brilliant. So I was really
I've heard some good things about that band. I'll have to check them out.
Really great. If you like stuff like sort of Americana, it's not like Americana like traditional Americana, but if you like stuff like Tom Petty, but Tom Petty produced by Jeff Lynne, John Mellencamp, Fleetwood Mac, if you want, but with like really sort of great musicianship and just like really interesting effects and guitar parts and stuff, and great songs. If you like, he sounds a bit like Bob Dylan, but don't judge it by that. Got a bit of a Bob Dylan sort of tone to it. It's so good, like such a great band.
Yeah, I'll check it out.
Well worth checking out. Right, where do we get to? Patois Janicki says, "Evening, guys. Hope all is well. My 2 months old quad Cortex just died on me. Oh, what? At home. Oh, no. So I'm hanging out here for a moment. The rock solid and indestructible katana would need to be hooked up tomorrow. Oh, mate, that is...
It's not fuse, is it? You have to check the fuse, haven't you? That's usually the first thing to check.
You didn't, or did you update? Did you do a firmware update and accidentally pull out the... Or did you get a power cut or something during a firmware update? Yeah. That can happen.
We were talking about Neural earlier on, weren't we?
Yeah.
Because I've just bought a new Mac Mini, so I've retired my iMac, moved on to a Mac Mini, and upgraded to the latest version of Pro Tools, which now runs in something called Silicon Native, I had the Pliny plugin, the Neural Pliny guitar plugin, and it's disappeared from Pro Tools. It's disappeared from my list of plugins, and I tried reinstalling it a couple of times and nothing. It would work as a standalone app on the computer, which I can launch off the desktop, but not as a plugin in Pro Tools. So I ended up emailing them, and they said, "Oh yeah, we haven't quite got round to building our plugins for Silicon Native just yet, but we are working on it."
What is going on? That is absolutely ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous.
So so Neuron not getting some not getting a lot of love from us at the moment. Then what with this chap's poor old quad cortex dying, that's not good, is it? That's a 1,500 quid machine, and it just suddenly doesn't work.
And the rest are more than that now. 1699, I think they are now. Mate, that's fingers crossed you get it sorted out for your next gig. David01 says, I don't hear anything. Telly inspired from a new PRS Telly, nothing like your Fender. Yeah, it's not. I think it's just the shape, isn't it? I saw Rhett Scholl's review of it. Obviously, I'm guessing as a paid review or as a freebie, and he was sort of backtracking on some of the things he said before on PRS guitars, and it almost felt a little bit like I've been given this guitar, so I need to still reference all the stuff that I've said before that I don't like about PRS, but how much I like this one, and it's just how much are you going to play that? Tony Howie says, hi guys, just found your channel last month. Oh, cheers, mate. He says, loving your content and the demos you do. I play a Mexican Strat that I bought in 97. Nice. Through a Fender Hot Rod 40 watt. My main rig for the last 25 years. Love it. Do you know what? I envy that. I envy Tony because I wish that especially you get something new every week. It'd be lovely to have and I'd love that. I'd love to be the person. I could do it. I could definitely do it. If I had one guitar, I'd have my telly and one amp or whatever, and that'd be it. I think I'd be happy. But there's so much exciting gear that comes through, and because of the channel, I've got to sort of keep up to date with all that sort of stuff. But I do envy someone that goes, no, I found my guitar, I found my amp, I'm done. That's
the other guitarist in the cover band that I play in, I've been in this cover band for 10 years. And he's been in the band all the time I have. And he just plays the same guitar through the same pedal board into the same amp every week. And there's me, the other side of the stage, and I've got new gear every week. And he's got a Stevie Ray Vaughan Strat, which he's had for,
nice.
Yeah, which he's had for donkey's years. He's got pedal board. A lot of the pedals he's got on the floor are full tone ones. Like the blue one, the dual drive blue one.
Yeah, nice.
And I've said to him, because full tone have gone bust now, and I've said to him, you need to keep hold of them because they're going to be doubling in value soon. And and he's got a Dr. Z little amp head with a cab, and he's used the same thing for years.
Does it sound good?
Yeah, it sounds great. He's just got the same sound every night. But he's rhythm. See, he's just a rhythm guitar player, so he's just chords all night.
Yeah. I like the gear. I like the new stuff coming out. I like that. I really like, and I find it exciting. There's some people, I guess, they just go, no, hold on a second. You've got to go into a menu and you've got to do stuff. I don't mind that sort of stuff, but there's certain people that just go, nope, I want an amp, I want a guitar, I want effects with the knobs on the top. That's it, and I completely respect that.
But it's the chase, isn't it? That can be that's the interesting part. It's finding the new gear and seeing what it sounds like and comparing it to the old gear and all. It's not necessarily that you're, it's not like when you're a family man looking for a new car. And you think, well, I buy a new car every 7-8 years, whatever it is, and that's it. And then I wait for the next 8 years to pass and I go and buy another car. It's not like that. It's kind of, I want to try this product, and I want to try that product, so I want to compare it to that product, see if it sounds better. And it's all about the chase for me. I just want to keep trying everything, and
Yeah, and technology just is moving so quick. That it's I mean, who knows where we're going to be in 10 years time? Are there going to be valve amps anymore?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Are there going to be valves anymore? you know, there's obviously going to be valve amps, but are they going to become like these sort of
collectors,
almost, you know, things you don't take out live? Just like, no, I can't take that out. It's worth too much money. Or
yeah, it's just a collector's. It's going to be a museum piece, isn't it?
Well, yeah, it may be. But then, you know, like, you know, the classic Fender Telecaster shape and that's still my favorite guitar. That's the guitar that if anyone said, you know, what guitar do you want for this gig, I'd go bring out a Telly.
Still cuts into my arm here. So I'm too fat. Too fat, that's what it is. I'm too fat. A Telly is a thin man's guitar.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen are there any fat men with fat Telly players?
Did you ever see Sean Lane play a Telly? No, they just kind of, you know, it's a bit like the Les Paul. You know, they sit, you know, when you've got a gut like I have, they tend to sit too far out. So you're almost like, you know, you're placing your arm right round. I need to lose weight.
I struggle. Well, I struggle doing a gig with. I love the sound of a Les Paul live, absolutely love it. But because I wear my guitar probably higher than is cool. It just looks stupid with a Les Paul. A Les Paul's got to be slash. It's got to be down low.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, nice one, Tony. Ned says, Ben Mayers, if you want to try an amazing Telly, try a Shiji.
Yeah.
I've heard of them.
Sounds like a female feminine product, doesn't it? A Shiji.
A Shiji TLV, handmade in China, custom shop quality on quality and attention to detail. Nice.
Interesting.
I might check them out. Definitely need to check them out. K Michael P, he says, howdy y'all, this is Mike from Sebastian. Hi Mike, hope you're doing well. By the way, guys, so YouTube are really stinging us at the moment, and they're stinging lots of sort of middle sort of tiered YouTube channels. So it really does help. If you're getting something out of this, give us a like, because it you wouldn't believe how much it helps at the moment, because we're getting absolutely hammered by YouTube. So just if you're enjoying it, if you're not enjoying it, obviously don't. But if you are, just click on the like button. It really does help. Ben says, read the PRS. I'm with Lee. I was surprised how much I like the PRS headstock on the Telly S shape. I like the PRS pickups because I don't like singles. The DD pickups are exactly the sound I want. Oh, there we go. Fantastic.
They have a customer.
Oh. Yeah, I really like try. I really like the look of the Swamp Ash, not the Miles Kennedy one, the other one. Really like the look of the wood on that. I think it looks really good. Poo Ninja, 2 notes for TW for the win. 2 notes for the win. Yeah. Ben says the standard Telly shape has grown on me over the last 2 years, and I like the aesthetics of a standard Telly a ton. I used to not like the horn, and the Miles Kennedy is the shape I wanted before. Lol. Yeah. Think about Telly. I'm getting all the guitars out at the moment. If you can do, the great thing about Telly is it is the most. There's no frills about it. There's no thrills. If it's just a great sounding guitar. You can't do all of the you know, the stuff you can do with the Strat, with the Trem, or with the Floyd Rose, all that sort of stuff. And you've got two pickups that sound absolutely brilliant. It's the most versatile guitar ever, I think.
And it rocks hard. It rocks hard as well for a guitar that's got single coils in it. The bridge pickup rocks really hard. Nothing rocks like a single coil Telly, and it's because I think it's because of the strung through body. Personally.
Oh, interesting.
Because obviously a Strat that's got a trem block in it, you know, the strings are attached to a piece of metal, which is kind of floating on springs, whereas the strings on that Telly and on most Tellys is actually, they go through the wood of the body to the back of the guitar, so the strings are actually resonating against the wood, I guess.
As far as I know, and as far as I know, the new PRS is top load.
Yeah, well, that ain't going to be any good then, is it?
Well, wasn't Jimmy Page's Telly top load?
Was it?
I think it was. But no, I couldn't agree more with you. I think there's something.
All I know is I had a cheap Harley Benton Telecaster that was top loader, and when I went out and gigged with it, it was thin and weedy and had no guts to it. When I bought a regular Fender telly, which is strung through, and took out that, night and day. It's got guts, it's got bottom end, it's got
Can't be a telly. Nothing better than a telly.
For a thin bloke. They're off for thin blokes.
Ben says that court reminds me of a Sterling Steve Lukather. My GC had with a crooked neck. GC was GC.
I don't know. Steve Lukather, GC.
Guitar chum. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just,
yeah, cheers.
Just standard sort of shape, isn't it? Really, it's just kind of.
It's offset though, isn't it? It's an offset. It's slightly unusual. Yes, it is offset. It's completely offset. It's cool. I like it. Cole says there are some people that really know how to dial IRs. I've tried and can't quite nail it. Obviously, it can be done, but my efforts recording a cabinet has worked best for me. So if you can record a cabinet, you should be able to record IRs. But I think, and I'm sure Lee agrees with this, or Lee might have an opinion, because Lee uses IRs a lot. But yeah, let other people do it.
Yeah, whose video did I watch once? Was it Michael Nielsen? Michael Nielsen, big hairy guitars?
Yeah, I like Michael Nielsen. Great.
And he said, here's the Pete Thorne IR trick. And he said, what you need to do is you need to go to your list of IRs, whether it's in your multi-effects unit or whether it's in your aux box or your software or whatever it is, and whatever cabinet size that you like, whether it's a 1x12, a 2x12 or a 4x12, just pick the first one and use that.
Yeah.
And that's it. Just don't go any further than that. So if you like 4x12s, go to the first 4x12 and use that. Job done.
Yeah.
Don't worry about, it sounds too bassy or it sounds too toppy or whatever. You can sort that, if you're recording, you can sort that out in the DAW in your mix later by chopping the top and the bottom off. Just use the first one. Don't waste time on it. Just music is more important than the selection of what IR you're using.
And I think as well, if you play through like an IR, if you play through an amp sim or whatever, or a tone that you've created in ToneX or whatever, whatever you do, and you're playing through it, you really, really like it, and then you change the patch and you go, oh, I don't like this patch as much as the other patch. Play with it, go for lunch, come back, play it again, you'll love it, and you'll go back to the other patch and go, oh, that sounds a bit bassy, or that sounds a bit.
Yeah.
That's what your ears get used to, and you can sort out anything in the mix.
Yeah, absolutely.
There we go. Bogeyman, he says, about Lee's court, seems the neck is tilted slightly. Maybe you can reposition it when loosening the screws, or use a shim at the side of the upper horn. That's interesting. I think that it's different size pickups.
Yeah. Well, you can see, you'll be able to see what I mean more clearly when I come over with it tomorrow. But it's definitely that string. The string to me looks as though it's in the wrong place. But anyway, we'll look at it tomorrow.
We'll have a look. We'll have a butcher's tomorrow. Hollywood says, just joined. Good to see Lee. Seems they messed up on a production line.
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah.
Get the ruler and space check of humbucker. Here we go. So 54, 52. We can do that tomorrow. We'll check that out.
Yeah.
What's the weight of those jet guitars? Heavy or light? Like 7 pounds or not?
This I saw John Cordy did a review of this model, and he said it weighed about 7 pounds.
Really?
So, and it is a light guitar. It's lighter than the white one. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wow. Great.
So yes, very light.
Cole says, are those Wilkinson trims made by Goto Trims? I think they're made by Wilkinson. I think Wilkinson it gets their stuff made in the Far East, I think.
I did hear something that Goto was the parent company, though. Could be wrong.
Really?
Well, that's what I thought I heard. Yeah, Goto was the parent. You know, Goto was the Fender, and Wilkinson was the Squire, sort of thing.
No, I mean, knowing Trevor Wilkinson,
okay.
I would say.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like that.
No. He's very sort of proud of his designs. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't have thought that was the case, but I can ask. I'll definitely ask.
I could be completely off there.
Patois Janicki says, Lee, got the same court. It's my poor man, sir. It's a G3300 Pro. Got it from Guitar when they have a promo for $399.
That's right, yeah, that's where I got mine.
AB Jazz. And yours are not right. Just looked at mine, they're okay. That's interesting. I reckon it's the wrong pick. I'm pretty sure it's the wrong pickup. It's the wrong spacing.
Right.
That's what I think.
Well,
I mean, I don't think you're.
Well, I've got to go there on. I've got to take my wife to do that marathon along the Thames Path again on Friday. So I might swing by Guitar in Epsom and just take it with me then, see what they say.
Nice. Yeah, that's not a bad shout actually. Greg's in the house. Adventures in Gearland. I just like this. Everyone else should do so too to ensure these guys aren't penalised for providing this weekly community hang. Do the right thing, people. Cheers, Greg. Thanks, mate. Yeah, it really does help, guys. If you can just give us a like, it really does help. Hollywood says, what is Lee's top 5 rundown for best cheap multi effects for gigging and recording, e.g. Boss GT1, Nux, MG Range, Valeron, Mua, whatever else Lee has found, tried, kept, and not sent back?
Right, okay. So Mua I thought sounded really good. I've had a Mua GE 200, but the buttons eventually gave up on me at a gig. So I wasn't impressed with the build quality on Mua. So I've kind of given Mua a bit of a wide berth ever since, really. Valeton, yeah, I've had a Valeton GP200, pretty good unit. I've had a GP100 actually as well.
Nice,
pretty good. There was something weird going on with the delays with Valeton stuff. It doesn't matter what you did, you couldn't get the delay repeats loud enough for some reason. Something a bit odd there. I was waiting for them to try and fix it in a software upgrade, and of course, you know, I moved on to something else. Whether they fixed it, I don't know. But they're starting to bring out quite a lot of stuff, Valeton, in their GP range. So you get like the big GP200, which is the big sort of the big daddy. And then you got like they've just brought out a GP200 Junior, which is kind of like a shrunken version, but it's still got an expression pedal. Then you got the GT200 Lite, which has got no expression pedal, so it looks like an HX Stomp. I had one of those for a little while. And then you've got the GP100, which is the tiny weeny little one, which is pretty good as well. I think they're. I did hear a whisper that Valeton and Hotone, or Hotone, whatever you want to call them, are basically the same company, different arms of the same company. So they probably use the same algorithms. So they just use, you know, whatever the algorithms are in one are the same in the other. Nux, I've had a couple of Nuxes. I've had the Cerberus, which is a nice unit. Couldn't really get a decent clean tone out of it though, so that ended up going. And I've also had their MG30, I think it is, which is the slightly big steel construction one rather than the plastic one. That was pretty good as well. I can't actually for the life of me remember why I moved on from that one, but there must have been a reason. Boss GT1, yeah, still got my Studio Rats donated Boss GT1. It's still here. Do you know what? You really cannot beat this, I don't think, for the money and the versatility of this thing. And this thing, hands down. I mean, when I play with Cosmograph, one of the prog bands I play in, we need to tune down to drop D. And it's just a lot easier to use a pitch shifter rather than tuning the guitar down. The pitch shifter in this is fantastic. It is fantastic. And when you compare it against all the other units that I've got, the latency on this and the zero glitching you get from the pitch shifter is just incredible. So
Amazing.
I'll always use this for pitch shifting, certainly. So this will always, and the wire sounds great in this as well. So you can use it. So I plan to use this in front of this. So this will be first, doing wire and pitch shifting and maybe overdrive, and then this will be doing, you know, cab, amp, cab, and delays.
So the pitch shifting in the Boss is better than the little whatever it is thing you've got, the new thing. Wow.
It's not so much that it's only the latency, which says to me it's a DSP issue. So I don't know I don't know what Boss have done to get, but the processing in that GT1 just must be so efficient and fantastic.
Yeah, it's good stuff, isn't it? Boss stuff's great. Right, we just got to say thank you to Ned. We've got thank you, Ned. That's really kind of you, mate. He said, sorry, the spelling should be Lee Abraham. Just remembered. In my head, I read Abraham, Americanized, and was unsure. Not at all, mate. Thanks, mate. That's really kind of you. Right, where do we go? Oh, God, this is, I always do this, and then I've lost where we've.
Do you want to do the news? James. You kind of pass the news.
Yes, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. I'm just going to make sure that we get back to exactly where we were.
Yeah, next one.
We were there. Great. Okay. Yeah, let's do the news. Share screen. Touch screen. This one here. Share. Right. So first of all, Boss DM101. Now, I think this release went under the radar a little bit because it looks like their other delay unit, because it's obviously in the same housing. But the thing that's great about this is that it's all analog, and it's got 8 Bucket Brigade chips in it.
Right.
So this is the only, as far as I know, this is the only analog, like proper delay unit, like proper analog delay unit that you can run in stereo because of the amount of chips it's got in it. And I think this is absolutely stonking, but it's not cheap at €519.
Oh my God, really?
But if you were going to buy, if you're going to buy a Memory Man, like an old Memory Man, like proper Memory Man with Bucket Brigade chips in it, that's going to cost you more than that, and that's not going to be stereo. I think this could be an absolute classic, but it's expensive.
How does that compare to? So Strymon do one, don't they? It's actually called the Brigadier, isn't it? That's got Bucket Brigade chips in it, or has it not? Or am I talking through my hat?
No, you might be right, mate. As far as I know, Strymon is all digital. As far as I know,
might just be modelling of the Brigade chips then.
Yeah, possibly, but maybe you're right. You know, maybe you're right. I know my the only one that I can think of that I've got is Clockwork, which is all analog. The who makes this? I can't remember who makes it now. It doesn't say on it. It just says
something like Toneworks or something.
J Rocket. J Rocket. Yeah, no, that's. I've got a feeling that might be. Is this stereo? It's got left and right out. I think it does some slight stereo things. It definitely hasn't got 8 chips in it. But I think the Boss thing is going to be an absolute classic. So there's that. So Richie Faulkner, are you a Richie Faulkner fan or a Flying V fan?
No. Flying V's look like joke guitars to me.
I mean, I think that looks quite cool. I mean, I wouldn't ever play it because I'd look like a twat playing that. But
I think most people look like twats playing them.
Yeah, they do. I mean, I don't know. It's for me. It's all about if you could lose the Floyd Rose, I'm just not a Floyd Rose fan. I would, and I'm never going to say never buy a Floyd Rose guitar. But
you can't even play that. You can't even play those guitars sat down, can you? That won't sit on your lap, will it?
They're awkward. They're pretty awkward, to be honest. Yeah, it's yeah, they're pretty hard to pay. $8,000. So there you go.
Next.
Well done, Gibson. Good work. Good work. On the other end of the scale, the new Corey Wong's limited edition Strats are out. I thought these look really good.
Yeah, the colours are nice, aren't they?
Yeah,
Pastel
and I think it really works with the and it really works with the mother of toilet seat. But $2,500.
Yeah. Usual sort of price now for half decent Fenders, isn't it? It's getting that way.
Yeah, it is, but it's not. I mean, the thing is, you could go out if you had $2,500 in your pocket, you could go and get a second-hand custom shop and never lose money.
Yeah.
Because that's only going to go up in value. But you can buy a second-hand custom shop for $2,500 easy. Or not easy, but you can definitely do it. But they are not. I think they look really good. I do think they look good. They're slightly smaller body shape, aren't they? Than a normal Strat. Yeah, very slightly smaller.
It'll be no good for me then.
Harley Benton moment of the week. So Harley Benton brought out
moment of the week.
There we go. Well done. They brought out this.
Oh, was that the
spaceship power bar? Yeah. So basically, you can run. It's quite a good idea because you can run a few sort of 500 milliamp pedals off of the. What have you got? 1, 2, 3, 4. So you've got 3 9-volts and then 2 9, 12 or 18.
Excellent.
Which I think that's a pretty good idea.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think these are going to do. Oh, actually, no, there's more. Look.
Yeah, well, it's quite a big board, isn't it? So you can fit quite a lot of pedals on it.
Oh, that's great, isn't it?
How much is
that? 100. So the small one's €139, and the biggest one they do is $239.
Can't go wrong.
That's great.
I bet you get a case of that as well, don't you?
You probably do.
Yeah, you get a soft bag.
Look at that. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay, next thing, which I think you'll be interested in. I don't know if you spotted these yet. The new TC pedals.
I've been waiting for these. I saw these. When did the guy from Germany, Henning? He did a thing on a desert island where he took a load of people away to a desert island. And somebody flashed them on the screen there that they were trying them out, and I've been waiting for them ever since then.
Oh, interesting. Did they sound good?
Well, they didn't really try them out.
Oh, yeah, but they didn't.
They just said, we're also trying these things out, but we can't really show them. And they just flashed the camera across, and that was it. So what we got? We got an AC30 there in the middle.
Yeah, you've got AC30, you've got a Deluxe, you've got a Fender Deluxe, and a JTM 45. So you've got the Marshall, the AC, and the Fender flavors. So basically, what Universal Audio should have done, in my opinion, is they should have brought out a Marshall pedal.
Well, what all of those pedals instantly say to me is there's not enough gain there for me in any of those.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't think?
So if they've done do a Marshall, because everyone feels they have to do a Marshall. Do a Fender, I guess, for the cleans, but don't do the Vox. I would have done either a Friedman or a Mesa Boogie or something.
That's interesting, but I think with the Vox and with the JTM, you've got a boost circuit on it as well.
Okay.
So you might be able to push it into what you want, or you run pedals before it. Yeah.
So as long as it takes the pedals, okay, of course. But I guess they're digital.
I'm guessing they're digital as well.
They got cab sims built in.
Yeah. They've got speaker emulation is based on Celestion 4x12 creamback.
Do we know if that's an EQ curve or an IR?
Oh no. That's just on the Marshall. The Vox has Alnico Blues 2x12, and the Fender's going to be a 1x12. Yeah, 1x12 greenback.
But it says cab sim, doesn't it, rather than IR? That kind of rings a little alarm bell in my head.
I reckon that's a typo because TC wouldn't do cab sim. TC use IRs.
Okay.
Because you know, like TC do that pedal. Haven't you got it? Haven't you got the TC?
Yeah, I did have the Pulse for a little while. Yeah, it's a good pedal. Yeah. Impulse. That's it.
Impulse. Yeah, that's it. Next, what do you reckon on the EVH?
Yeah, Floyd Rose is a no.
That's the downer, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean it's okay. The small body kind of puts me off a little bit, but again, I'm purely being selfish because I'm a bigger guy. Stupid. Small guitars look stupid on me. They look like toy guitars.
I think they look good. They look really good, and I think these are the Made in Japan series. Let's have a quick look. So it says, so it's priced between a Mexican and the USA model. So it's Japanese model, but it's still 2,700 quid.
Yeah,
it's a lot of money in it.
Yeah, it is.
A lot of money
for a guitar. I mean, if I had that guitar, I would absolutely dread string change day. I'd be putting it off for weeks and weeks and weeks.
It does take long. I mean, that's why I stopped using Floyd Rose, because I was just sick of the string changing and it's crap. Yeah. Okay, so that's me done. Let me come out.
Cool. Yeah, I've been interested in those TC pedals. They look. I'll have to do. What did it say when they're coming out, or are they?
Let me have a quick look. I would have thought they're out now.
Oh, okay.
I would have thought they're out because TC, they don't normally hold stuff back, because TC is now
Behringer.
Yeah, Behringer. Yeah, they're pretty good. They're pretty good at sort of getting stuff out. Where am I? I'm there. There we go. Okay, Mississippi Blues. He says, "Hey Lee, I have the exact same guitar as you, the Cort G300 Pro in burgundy. Mine, the height is closer to the edge of the fretboard than yours. Film at Night has a video on how to deal with this."
Oh, okay.
There you go.
I check it out.
Yeah, Film at Night's videos are great as well.
Yeah,
he's got a great channel. Mississippi Blues. I can send you a pic at mine if you want to do a comparison.
Okay.
Could be handy.
Yeah.
Music Nerd. He says, curious if you have heard of the Wolf Note over fuzz pedal by a company called Midnight 30. No, I'm shocked how different it sounds from any other fuzz I've tried. JHS did a short bet recently. Never heard of it. That's a shame.
No,
nice
fuzz is not my thing though.
Yeah. No. I haven't, but I'd like to. I will check it out. Cheers, Music Nerd. Funky Bass. Paul, I do like your gold top P90 Les Paul and Paisley P90 Strat. I think the best of your guitars is the green Telly with the Filtertrons. 3 guitars you should never sell. So that's interesting because that's the guitar that I'm the green Telly with the Filtertrons is a guitar that I'm thinking of selling. Not that it's not. It's probably just my least used guitar because it's.
Well, I was going to say, what's the story with the one hung up by the door? Because I've never seen you play that. No, look round the other way. That door. Yeah, that one. That
the Gretch.
Yeah. I've never seen you play that.
So the Gretch is a funny one because it's I did a video the other day where I used the Gretch. It just shows you, Lee. You don't watch my videos.
I've been found out. Look, I've been found out.
I used it in a video the other day. It's the thing about a Gretch is it's really specific to me. It's like it works for. It does one job and it does it really, 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 really well.
Right.
And that's what that's what I use it for. So it's.
So what's the one job? Is it like Dwayne Eddy stuff or something?
No, it's like if you want that. Well, the first thing. I'm getting all the guitars out tonight. The Bigsby It's because Bigsby's like really unique. It's not like a Strat trem, because with a Bigsby, it sort of stays in tune when you dip it. So you get so it sounds different. If I do like a chord and a you see that all the notes go down together, while on a Strat they don't. All the notes sort of change the tuning with the Bigsby. I mean, then they do. You know, if you dip it and you play a chord, it would sound different. But it's got that unique sort of sound. And if you're doing like the edge sort of parts on a track, you know, like with delays and, you know, like dotted eighth notes delays, and you're playing. Let me get a pick, and you're doing something like, I don't know. I mean, I haven't got a delay, so it's not going to sound the same, but. You know, that sort of part with the digga 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 digga, you know, the delays going over the top.
Yeah.
The Filtertron bridge, it's got that sort of sound that just cuts through a mix. It's brilliant.
Right.
Never use a neck pickup. Never use a neck pickup on this. It's always a bridge. But it's just a great guitar. And it's one of those things that I know that, you know, if I did get rid of it, it would just be. I'd just be like, I'd get a job in and I'd need it and go, I can't do it.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say something like, you know, it was my granddad's guitar and he left it to me, and that's why I can never get rid of it, sort of thing.
No, I wish. Travis Niles, hi everyone. Hi Travis, hope you're doing well. Hollywood says, well, 7K Masterbuilt, you could get a new jet Strat every month for the next 4 years. Yeah, I mean, that's not an expensive Masterbuilt. If you ordered my Paisley Strat now, I mean, I've got it secondhand, so I didn't pay anything like that for it. But if you ordered my Paisley Strat now, that'd be like 10 grand. So, and you'd have to wait 2 years for it to be built, because, you know, there's the queue on the Master Builders. They're bonkers money. Absolute bonkers money. Centre for Wheelchair Pillows here. He said, "What's the glass, Lee? What's in the glass?"
Blackcurrant squash.
Nah, man of taste. Simon Cook says, when I briefly lived in London back in the 80s.
Oh, sounds like this is going somewhere. Yeah, what happened?
Yeah, I'm intrigued. I can't see. We're gonna have to come on to Simon.
I bet he hit return by mistake. I'm always doing that. You type it away, and then you hit return by mistake. Oh, it sent it. Bollocks.
It's done it now. Rafa, he says, have you seen the ads for Bolt Guitars UK?
Bolt.
It's like a high quality DIY kit with some unique features.
Bolt.
What?
Let's have a look.
I'm supposed to know about this stuff. Bolt Guitars. Let's have a quick look.
This is why you do this Q&A, isn't it? To get some.
It is. It's so everyone else can inform me about the stuff that I've missed. Let's have a quick look. I'm going to share it on the group.
Here we go.
Excuse me. Let me share the screen. Here we go. So Bolt Guitars. Oh, they look good, don't they?
Yeah.
Oh, they look great. Hold on a second. I think Rafa might have done me a favour here. Let me have a look. Let me see if they do. If you can just buy necks. If I can just buy a neck. Look at the price of that.
That's not bad, is it? I don't like that headstock though. We shaved too much wood off there. Oh, and the little light.
That is a bit narrow, isn't it? That is a little bit. Yeah. Hold on. Let's have a look. Can you choose? Great website as well. Do all that.
Yeah, I like the colours. Yeah, the green's nice. Ocean green. That's nice.
That's great, isn't it? And
you can have a white pickguard or a black pickguard. Nice.
I'm going to give them a shout, and I'm going to see if they can build me a neck for that. That's great. Oh, cheers, Rafa. Thanks for letting us know about that. Are they only tellies? They only do tellies.
Yeah. They might have only just started up though.
I'm going to give them a shout. I'm going to give them a shout tomorrow, and then we'll see what we can do. That is great, isn't it? I mean, to buy a kit.
Yeah, it's basically double the price if you want them to build it for you.
Is it?
So yeah, under where the price is, see at the bottom there where it says add to basket, just above there.
Build for me.
Build it for me. Add 375 quid.
Is it made? Is the stuff made in the UK?
I don't know. Quality components.
That's great.
Doesn't say where they're getting their stuff from.
Was it two-piece?
Alnico 5 magnets.
Okay, good.
Cigarette style tin bridge. Yeah. I mean, yeah, on the face of it, and like I say, it kind of strikes me as like a brand new company because they're literally only doing that one shape of guitar at the moment. So it sounds like they've only just started trading.
That's great. Awesome. Oh yeah, we're definitely. I'll go and check them out. I'll send them an email. Nice one. Well done, Rafa. Hollywood says, Paul, what advice would you give for someone to find the number one Strat they want to keep?
Try them
really
all.
hard.
Try them all.
Yeah. You've really got to try. Yeah. You're going to a shop. You're going to a shop and you're going to try a bunch of them, and they'll all feel different and sound different.
What about you? Could maybe start with thinking to yourself, okay, well, I'll try bottom price ones, and I'll also try really expensive ones to see first of all if I'm a cheap guy or an expensive guy, because that's got to be your first choice, isn't it? You know, is this going to cost me hundreds or is it going to cost me thousands? Let's get that straight first. So go and try a load of cheap ones and go and try a load of expensive ones and see which ones you like better.
Yeah.
And then you can start to narrow it down from there. So take a trip to, if I don't know whereabouts you are, Hollywood, you're in the UK somewhere, maybe try and get yourself down to Guitar Village in Farnham. Is it still there?
Yeah.
Because they'll have some really expensive ones. So you could go in there and try some really expensive ones. And go to, I don't know, PMT or somewhere and try some really cheap ones.
Yeah, or if you're up in Essex, go to Peach. If Peach, Peach, that they like you to. James said
they got a strange way of inviting you in now. You have to make appointments and stuff, don't you?
Yeah, apparently so. Yeah, I definitely do that. I mean, I would always say, it seems to me that there's a big difference between a Mexican Strat and a custom shop Strat, and there should be, because there's a massive price difference. But if you want a guitar that's light, go and get a custom shop. And the thing about a custom shop, go on.
Well, no, I was going to say, really, I mean, you know, I've had a few Mexicans over the years, and the quality is just really, really poor these days on Mexican Strats and Tellies. I think with the I would have a Jet Strat over a Mexican Telly any day of the week. I mean, leaving aside all of the expensive custom shops and Masterbuilt Strats, because they're obviously a completely different level. But if you're talking Mexican Strat, I would keep away from the Mexican Strats. I would go for something like a Jet.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I mean, the Mexicans, I always think the Mexican Strats tend to be heavy. You know, the Fender, you know the top of the range Fender factory builds, the Ultras, are they called?
Ultra, yeah.
I've never played a light one of them. They all of them weigh a ton.
I used to
and then it. Yeah. Did you?
Yeah.
Was it heavy?
The frets wore out on it. I think I've told you. Yeah.
Jesus. Yeah. So I've got a problem with them as well. It's almost like Fender get the wood in, and they get and they find a great bit of wood, and so they find a nice light bit of wood, and the custom shop goes, we're having that. We're having that. That is the best bit of wood. We're having that. And you'd expect them to. And then the master builders then go through that, and they get the best bit of wood from that pile as well. But I mean, I would always go custom shop on a Fender if you can possibly afford it. And I would go and again, just buy second hand, because you'll get a much better deal. And unfortunately, you're just going to have to go and try it a load. But I've never, I don't think I've ever tried a bad Masterbuilt. There's one that there's a couple that I've gone that I've had that I've got rid of quickly, and I had a Sherwood Green custom shop. I'm talking about. I had a Sherwood Green custom shop once. I can't remember why I got rid of that. But yeah, for me, I'd always do that. But I know that I'm a bit of a snob. But there is a big difference in the. But then I go and play a guitar that Lee brings out. One of Lee's cheaper guitars, and they're fantastic. Way better than, as Lee said, way better than a Mexican Strat. Yeah. Pet, sorry mate, I missed Pet. He said, "Cheers for the kind words, Paul. Nice job jumping in, Lee. No blue moons this evening. Thursday mornings were killing me, mate. Thursday is the new Friday. As far as I'm concerned, the blue moons come out on Thursday. That's when they come out for me." Where do we get to? We were there, weren't we?
Yep.
Simon says, here we go. I had a Gibson Norlin era Lab Series L5 when I was 19. Wow. I wish I kept it. Found out Alan Holdsworth and BB King used them. Yeah. I used it in a country band. Nice one. Wow. Yeah, that would have been a good thing to hold on to. Lee says, what were your Glastonbury highlights? Mine were War on Drugs. There we go. The Pretenders and a band called Shame. I didn't hear Pretenders or Shame, but War on Drugs was ridiculously good. Yeah, Lee, you've got to go and check that out.
Yeah, I'll check them out. Yeah.
So good. It was like, it's the only band that I've got goosebumps over. Just like listen to it, just go, God, that sounds. And just like his vocals are just absolutely brilliant.
Cool.
Jeff Cook. Re the Delverb Bluesbreaker. The Bluesbreaker reissue amp doesn't have an effects loop. So the Delverb is the last. The Bluesbreaker. Okay, so you've got the Bluesbreaker. Oh, Bluesbreaker.
Yeah, were we talking Bluesbreaker or Bass Breaker?
I thought he said Bass Breaker, but sorry. If it's Bluesbreaker, no.
Well.
Okay.
Oh, I thought he said Bass Breaker.
Okay, so it doesn't have an effects loop. So the Delverb is the last of a handful of pedals going in front. Nice. Yeah, really nice. Hollywood says, I thought GNR at Glasgow were pretty good. First few songs sounded off, but as they warmed up, they were good. Axl Rose's voice is not as dynamic range as back in the day, but still as good as a reunion. Yeah, it's funny because I mean you can't. He's got to be 60 now. I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Probably at least. You can't sing like. There's no way he could sing like he did because he just wrecked his voice.
He's not exactly lived like a monk, is he? So
absolutely, yeah. It's just it is unfortunate, but he's had a very unique voice. It's funny sometimes you almost, but so did Elton John. Elton John was an amazing singer. He was just like had one of the best voices ever, and me and James. I think me and James talked about this. I mean, me and someone else talked about this over the weekend, and Elton John. It's a horrible thing to say, but when Elton John gave up drink and drugs, it's almost like that's when his voice started to look after himself, and maybe he went, God, I can feel it now. I've got nodules, and I'm not as inebriated as I was, so I'm struggling a little bit more.
Right.
So I'm gonna go and have I'm gonna have this operate, and it's such a shame, but Elton John is a fantastic performer.
But sometimes you get these guys which are just enigmas. I mean, John Anderson from Yes, he can still sing all of that stuff that he was singing in Yes in the early 70s. He can still sing it now,
like at a range that most guys can't even never been able to hit. Yeah, he's got an amazing range. Hollywood says, agree, Elton's set was great and the band were amazing. Yeah, Elton, he did do a really good job. Yeah. Some strange choice of guests though. I thought he brought out some people that I was just like, who?
Yeah, he brought out people who were kind of well known, and then some other people that you'd never heard of. But he's leaving the music industry, isn't he? So he's doing his bit before he goes, isn't he? Really?
Yeah. Good guy. John says the War on Drugs are amazing live. They are. I was blown away. Seen them 3 times. Nice. Hollywood says GNR set guitars really loud in the mix from.
Yeah, they got to be there, haven't they?
What I heard on the TV. Yeah, it was all over the place. They did Paradise City with Dave Grohl. Dave Grohl came on and did Paradise City with them.
Of course he did. And, of course he did. He's everywhere. The omnipresent Dave Grohl.
Dave, I mean, you'd want him. You'd want him on stage, wouldn't you? And Slash did this. Yeah, Slash was, he obviously did all the solos and stuff. And some of it was quite lazy, I thought.
Right.
It wasn't sort of usual Slash.
But I remember seeing Slash. Do you remember the Freddie Mercury tribute gig that happened just after Freddie Mercury died in Wembley Stadium?
Yeah.
I remember seeing Slash on there, and I thought he was awful. I thought he was out of tune.
Oh, really?
Terrible. Yeah.
But that was probably when he was out of his box.
Oh, definitely.
I think he's cleaned up. He's cleaned up now, isn't he? Joe Marshall, the other guy was a bit mouthy last week. Shows you what one's first beer can do.
I thought he was actually. He was quite getting a bit leery, wasn't he?
Who was that? What, Greg or James?
James.
Oh, James does get leery with a couple of beers.
When I said to you, I'll come over and we can try the Hope Tone out against the Tonex. And he was like, oh, I don't think you ought to do that. That's a great name, though. That's a great name, though, Joe. You've got a great surname there.
Is that Mark? Absolutely. Poo Ninja, love my katana. I'm so mad at myself for waiting so long to build one up. Nice one, mate. Yeah, they're great, aren't they? For the money, you cannot beat that. Joe says, Lee, did you do some documentary filming for The Darkness around the time of the first was coming out?
No. No, I hadn't. I guess you've seen a documentary and someone looks like me today.
Either that,
fat ginger guy, was it?
Either that or maybe the same name. Chris, evening rats, love the show. Paul, I'm thinking of getting a Fender mod shop Strat. What do you think the resale value might be? The same as a parts caster or a regular Strat, i.e. Pro 2? No, I think if it's a factory done thing like the mod shops are, I think they're going to hold their value because they're quite. What's that? How many
shops have they got? Custom shop, Masterbuilt, mod shop.
Yeah, I mean, Gibson have done the same thing with their. I think they call it the mod shop or the something shop. It's basically where you can change certain elements of it, and I think it's really good. I don't think you'll lose money on it. I think it would go up in value if you choose the right one. I think it will go up in value. Yeah, so I think go for it. Johnny Love says it was really nostalgic watching Guns N' Roses. I know Axl's voice is Marmite to some and not as strong as it was, but who else sounds like Axl? Phenomenal back in the day, absolutely. Didn't he used to spit out blood after a gig? It was just like so.
I don't know. I heard lots of stories. Didn't Slash drink so much Jack Daniels he turned his tongue black or something? All sorts of stories.
Oh, yeah. I love these. What do they call them? Urban myths. Urban myths. Yeah, that's it. Ned says Rhett Shill. I think he meant Rhett Shill. I wonder if that's a joke.
Oh.
Is that? Yeah, I know, but I wonder if that's a joke though.
Oh,
okay. That's a dig. Wrote in an Instagram story that he didn't get the PRS guitar, but checked it out at Gearfest where he was at the time, and he didn't keep it. Yeah, it didn't feel as sterile as PRS used to. Interesting.
Okay.
Interesting. Bioterror says that Lee's bandmate. I'd like to buy new stuff, but in the end, I always end up trying to get the same sound out of every bit of gear. So it's kind of worthless to just buy new gear when it sounds. That's true, actually. Yeah, I do the same.
Yeah, so do I. Yeah.
I mean, we all want that. We all want the sound. The thing is, like, you will try something out, and it might be 5% better, but 5% to us as musicians is massive.
Yeah.
Ned says Telecaster with a belly cut and arm cut. Yum. There we go.
Well, you can get them if you buy the Richie Kotzen signature one. That's got a belly cut and an arm cut.
That's it.
Yep.
Can't get the only thing about that is it's a Japanese. It's a Japanese one, which there's nothing wrong with Japanese guitars. It's like that.
A mate of mine's got one.
Has he? Is it nice?
Yeah, lovely. Lovely.
Nice. Throw some thumbs up, folks, says Poo Ninja. Yeah, cheers, guys. It really does help. It really, really, really does help at the moment. We're really getting hammered by YouTube. So, yeah. Thank you. Funky bass. Only overweight guitarist I can think of are Leslie West. Remember Leslie West? Great guitar player. Mountain, and Lowell George from Little Feat. I love Little Feat as well. Not sure either of them played a Telecaster.
No,
Do you know what? I saw Leslie West played a Steinberger. I remember there was a concert in what's the little venue in? Oh, it's not a little venue in Hammersmith Odeon. Not a little venue, but you know, there was a guitar concert, possibly 30 years ago,
right?
And Leslie West was one of the guitarists there, and he was the reason why I bought the Steinberger. He had the I can't remember the model number now, but the humbucker 2 singles, EMGs. That he just sounded absolutely monster. Now that guitar was way above, way ahead of its time. But it looked tiny.
I really like the Strandbergs. I like the idea of the Strandbergs, and I even like the way they look. But I just think it would look absurd on me because I'm a bigger guy. It would just look mad.
Thing about Strandbergs, if you like vibrato, the neck just goes.
Yeah. I remember you saying.
It's such a shame. But they're all about. It's like the Alan Holdsworth thing, if you look at Alan Holdsworth, when he was about. If you look at the way that he played, there wasn't much of that. It was all about speed, and so it's great for that sort of thing. But if you ever want to put any, it sounds wrong for me to say like real emotion into it. But if you really want to, do that sort of thing, you can't do it. Yeah. Such a shame. They almost it needs to have the strap needs to change where it sort of locks around your body so it doesn't move when you do it.
Yeah.
Bioterra Kingfish is not. That's true. That is true. Kingfish he's a beastie. He's a massive boy. He's a big old lump.
What's that other guy as well? That guy from Brooklyn, Papa Chubby. Have you seen him?
No.
Yeah, he's similar. He's a boy. He's a blues guitar player from Brooklyn, New York. Papa Chubby, and he's a big chap as well. He plays mostly sat down, a bit like Sean Lane in his days before he died. He can only play sat down.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, we've got to get through these. Jeff Buckley's Telecaster was a top loader. Oh, look at that! And that was a good sound. Rafa says also night day price parts between a Fender Telecaster and a cheaper Harley Benton. That is top loaded, not the two aspects. That's very true. That is very true. There's a big difference. Lee says that Yamaha amp on wheels reminded me of Doctor Who's dog. That's brilliant. That is brilliant. K9, yeah. Simon Cook, Lee should try my JT350 SB Telly. It has a belly cut, chamfered heel, and locking tuners. Looks beautiful, feels great to play, and most importantly,
I've been thinking about getting a Jet Telly. Yeah, I think I might.
There we go. I'll buy that Jet Telly. I'll buy that Jet off you, the one you just bought, and you can put that money towards the Telly when you're fed up with it. Dave Olson, on the court, is the bottom E string also displaced? If so, the neck needs pushing over slightly. Easily done.
Yeah, I think it is. Well, we'll have a look at it in the daylight tomorrow. I think it is.
Yeah, we'll check it out. Dave Brose. Dave, got a new boogie. Nice. He said, "Did you guys talk about the new TC amplifiers?" We did, mate. Yes. Check out the news about 1 hour 15.
Hour and 15 in. Yeah.
About that, wasn't it? Ned says, Boss DM101 is the most versatile analog delay pedal ever. It sounds amazing too. It had too many options for me. I would use it every time because I put a setting and just let it be. I do the exact same thing. I tend not to use loads of presets. Sparks were good at Glastonbury.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah, I'd heard that. I might have to check some of that out. Yeah. I
mean, they should be. God, we've got loads to get through, actually. Let's get through these. Christ. Yeah, I love Sparks. Fantastic. 41. Hello, mate. Hi, Philip. How you doing? He says, I'm late. Good evening, gents. Good evening, mate. How are you?
Evening.
Tony Davis says, late again. This day job is such an obstacle. I will catch the first hour and a half later.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
LSL or Sir Telly? Do you have a preference?
So
Honestly, all day long.
So-
All day long. All day long. The thing, LSL, fantastic. They're I can't. It's too much to get into. Can we go? Yeah, let's get into this next. We'll get into this next week. But yes, Sir, go and get Sir over LSL. Philip says, I've got an electromatic Gretch, very similar to that one, but mine is black. Oh, nice. It's such a great guitar, but it does have a very specific sound. There we go. Hi, do you know Philip Sace? Not personally, but I know he's an amazing guitar player. Have you heard him, Lee?
I haven't. No.
Steve Ray Vaughan type Strat player. Absolutely, just bags of tone, bags of feel. Absolutely amazing. You know, the guitar player that we all want to be.
Yeah.
Glenn says, good evening all. Paul, would you ever do a video running your Axe FX3 into your amp and just use the effects on the app? On the Axe and show you how you would set up a patch? We'll watch back tonight. Night shift. Yeah. So I do that. That's really the way that I work. If you ever hear, if I'm using the amp is going into a load box, and then the effects are coming from the Axe effects or the Universal Audio, but sometimes the Axe effects. So that's sort of the way that I work it anyway.
I was going to mention very quickly, and we should have talked about this earlier. Did you see the rig rundown for Dave Murray from Iron Maiden? Because you know Iron Maiden are on tour at the moment.
Yeah. No, I didn't.
Dave Murray is now Axe Effects.
Is he? Just Axe Effects, yeah.
Well, he's running it. He's running it in. He's got 3 outputs on the Axe Effects. Output 1 goes. They didn't exactly make it clear how it was set up, but they said 1 feed is going to front of house, 1 feed is going to in-ear monitors, and a 3rd feed is going into Marshall power amps and Marshall cabs on stage, which I can only presume maybe for stage volume or something.
Yeah, interesting.
But the actual tone is the JMP1 in the Axe Effects.
JMP1 is great. I mean, it does. I mean, that's what the Axe Effects is really good for, but with all of the ins and outs. And I mean, it does sound fantastic, but you can just go, and that's the way I run it. I've got in-ears coming out of, I actually send a mix from the monitor engineer into the Axe Effects.
Yeah.
Into a chain in the Axe Effects, and then I blend in my signal inside that chain, and then send it to my in-ears.
Perfect. Yeah. Because
it's just so versatile and it sounds great. Yeah, really good. Simon says, I thought I'd delete that one, so I answered and add in the melody maker for guitarist with the Pretenders. Oh yes, I remember you have said that before. The voice at the end, if it asked if I'd been in, he's done it again.
He's done it
any
again.
name bands? Here we go. Any name bands? I replied, not yet. Which point they hang up on me. That is. I remember. I think you told that story. I love that. That's a great story, isn't it? War on Drugs smashed it. They sounded spot on. Absolutely flawless. Jeff Rock. I've got a custom shop telly and a vintage 2 Strat. Nothing between them in terms of quality. Oh, interesting. Oh, there we go. Interesting. You sell me your. Oh no, you're left-handed, aren't you? Ah. Richard Paul. Hi, Richard. He said, hi, guys. Speaking of low-end guitars, you like the Squire you tried out at Bonner's. It's amazing what a good setup can do. That is so true. Simon at Bonner's does a great job of setting stuff up. I was thinking of calling Simon, actually. Just a long way from me now is Eastbourne. That's a long drive. John Partridge. Can you use the Delverb on a standard 9-volt, or does it require more milliamps? I think it's 350 or 400 milliamps. So yeah, if you've got a decent power supply, you should have some 500 milliamp outputs on. I do. I've got it on my pedalboard. Yeah, I've got the Fender, the big Fender power block with it's got like 12 outputs on it, and they're all 500 milliamp. Miguel says, hi mate, I have an injury in my ear. Oh no, and I can't use my tube amps anymore. Do you know any pedals with real tubes that have some tube touch from digital signal? Yes. Valbrook. Oh, Victory do it. Yeah, Victory, as Lee said, Victory do a load of different V4 pedals, V3 pedals. V4. And Valbrook, which is a a guy in Germany who's a scientist makes. I've got one. It's absolutely fantastic. It's got a 12x7 in it. Sounds absolutely killer. I'd highly recommend that. I haven't tried the Victory stuff, but really recommend.
I've had the Victory stuff. It's very good.
Lee says, Pretenders at Glastonbury featured Johnny Marr. Oh, nice. And at the end, Dave Grohl. He loves it, doesn't he?
Of course, Dave Grohl was there.
He just gets up because he has a lovely time. It's brilliant. I love his, and his zest for.
There was a little picture meme thing of Elton John stood next to his grand piano, and somebody had pasted in Dave Grohl's head coming out of the bottom of the piano.
Brilliant. Joined in. It's well worth a watch. I'll check that out. Glenn Hughes still has the mustard. Yes,
he's playing in Southampton soon.
Is he?
Yeah.
I mean, Glenn Hughes. Oh, that'd be fun. Maybe we should do that. Yeah, Glenn Hughes, brilliant voice, and he's got to be in his 70s.
Yeah, he's got to be.
He looks great as well. I think he keeps fit. Gretch Shill was a typo. No dig. Gretch Shill seems like a nice bloke. Gary says, "Hey guys, sorry I'm late, Paul. Not a problem, mate. So thanks again for your videos and Tonex. They've been great. I did connect it to Mount without turning off the cab, and it sounded good via 4 cable method and jigs. Nice. There we go." Mississippi says, Delverb in 9-volt minimum 400 milliamps. Sense negative. Like, yeah. Matt's here from Distant Sun. He says, "Hi everyone. Film night tonight with the little one tonight. Very late to the party." Oh, nice one, mate. Hope you had fun. Was it? What'd you watch?
Something.
Yeah. Just can't imagine a low slung Strandberg.
No, they're definitely sort of they're definitely to be worn high up.
And the thing is, you'd be disappointed if you saw a band and the guy at a Strandberg. You'd be disappointed unless he was an absolute fluid master. If he just played like like, you'd be really disappointed.
What, like I play? So yeah, I'm not.
No, you don't play. You play great. You play great. Rumi, thank you so much. That's really kind of you. He said, "Paul, can you please discuss recording guitar dry versus wet with effects? Why might you record the signal wet?" That's a really good question. You did a super chat, I'm gonna have to do this, but I would have said, can we do it next week, because it's quite a long discussion.
Don't record wet.
Oh, interesting.
Well,
so
don't record reverb. Record delay if it's part of the guitar part. So if it's dotted eighths or whatever, and you're confident you've got the tempo snapped right to the tempo of the song, then yeah, go for it. But most of the time, I would never record reverb print to a track, and I'm in 99 times out of 100, I'd never record delay printed to a track either.
Interesting. So I've slightly different to Lee, where like I would definitely record delay, because unless it was a delay that had to be synced to the track. So if it was a delay that if it was dotted eighth notes and it had to be right on the pulse, I wouldn't record it. But I normally record every time I record. I normally have I might take the reverb off, or I might have a little bit of the reverb in, and I might add in reverb. I would always add in later as well over the top. And that might sound you get really washy, but it doesn't really work like that. What you want to try and do, the reason I'm adding later on, is because if I'm recording separate parts, I want it to make to be cohesive in a mix. So you might mix in a bit of the reverb that's going to the drums or the vocals, whatever like that, and it just brings everything together, just makes it sound like a cohesive mix, as opposed to like everything was recorded singly.
You can always put a low cut on your reverb channel as well, because that would stop your reverb getting too muddy.
Absolutely, couldn't agree more with that. Couldn't agree more with that. But yeah, Lee's right. I think you've always got the choice. If you print the track, if you overdo the reverb, you can't do anything about it. You're done. So on the safe side, never record with reverb, because you can always then get that to sound how you want it to in the mix. If you've been recording a long time and you know the sort of sounds you want, like Lee or like myself, I think you tend to know what you need and what you don't. The only thing is, if you add reverb and then you add a bundle of compression on the top, it messes. That will mess with your guitar sound. So
well, you'd bury it basically, and you wouldn't be able to hear it, and then you'd be pushing up the fader, and that's no good.
Yeah, absolutely. I must quickly go to Gary. Thank you, Gary. That's very kind of you, mate. He said, guys, thank you, Gary. That's really, really, really nice. I hope that helped, Rumi. If you want, we can talk about this more on next week as well. Where do we get to? I can't click. Mark Grant says, hope there's another Tone X pack release. First one was great. Yes, there is, mate. Coming out in less than a month. Jeff says there's rather a large blues guitarist in Australia named Stefan Hawke. He's more than a handy singer too. You should have a look for him on YouTube. Will do, mate. Nice one. Thank you. Music Nerd, 2 Notes has 2 AX7 pedal. Oh 12. Yeah, the Revolt. That's true.
Yeah.
12 AX7. Sorry, 12 AX7 pedal.
I used to have one of their when they had the. Do you remember they had the Le Crunch, the Le Clean, and the Le, I had the Le Lead for a little while. I did some recording with that actually. It was quite good. Yeah. The internal cab sim was hopeless, but the put it with an IR, it sounded pretty good.
See, that's incredible. It's amazing how a company like 2 Notes can make a pedal and not get the cab sim absolutely bang on. What did we get to? Matt says Mailman make 2 amp pedal. It sounds fantastic on YouTube channels. I'd love to travel. Nice one. Ooh. We're done. We're there. We made it through.
Well done.
Well, thank you everyone for joining myself, and thanks Lee for joining as well, mate.
Yeah, no worries.
I did know James did actually tell me that he wasn't going to be on the show, and I completely forgot. So join us next week. Actually, Lee's coming over tomorrow, just in case you guys miss out at the start of the show. Lee's coming over. He's bringing over some of his Lee's least lolly loot for us to do some videos on, and that'll be out. I might if I can. I'm not going to get a video out tomorrow, but I'll have a video out on Friday of one of Lee's least lolly loot moments.
Yeah, nice one.
Nice. So again, guys, thanks for joining us. Cheers, Lee, again. And we'll see you next time. Cheers, guys.